It is in the Holy Quran, whether openly or secretly, do not go near indecency. Surah Anam, Ayat 151. Elsewhere in the Holy Quran, do not go near adultery. Surely this is an indecent and an evil way. Surah Bani Israel, Ayat 32. Allah would have said that do not commit indecency. Why did Allah forbid going near to indecency in two verses? Maybe one cannot control oneself when he gets close, or it may be a solution to avoid unwanted indecency. There may be many more. We must stay away from vulgar act. If someone asks us if we will rape, we will not say. But think about it, in a scheduled place, in a room with you and a sexually attractive girl, can we stay away from indecency at that moment? Shaitan doesn't tell us directly that rapes need to be done. He can gently call us to vulgar act. At first, you can say, what is the problem to see a beautiful girl? You will see her, talk to her, meet her. What is the problem? In this way, he can slowly encourage us in an illicit relationships and force us to engage in vulgar act. Now, if we accept Allah as God, then we must stay away from indecency. It is not possible for someone to say that he will do indecent thing and pray again. Now, when it comes to staying away from vulgar act, we can follow the verse of the Holy Quran. Do not go near vulgar thing. When Shaitan encourages us to watch vulgar thing, we can turn away from the great acts of vulgarity if we return to the fear of Allah. Now we hear a verse from Al-Quran. Tell the believers to lower their gaze and guard their modesty. This is better for them. Allah is fully aware of everything they do. Surah Nur, Ayat 30. Well, why did Allah say to control vision? Maybe illicit vision leads us to indecency, or illicit vision makes the heart worse. We can hear a hadith from the Bukhari Sharif. Adultery in both eyes is a prohibited vision. The adultery of the tongue is its discussion. Karna's judgment is that the adultery of two hands is unlawful. The adultery of two legs is walking. The indistinct desires it, and the place of shame proves it to be true. There is another hadith which can say that a woman should not associate with another woman and narrate to her husband as if she were looking at him. Here a man is also asked to be careful when describing a girl. Even beardless boys have been encouraged to refrain from looking. Well, why is Islam so serious about vulgar thing? What is the need to be serious about vulgar act? At present, the rate of rape is much higher in the society. Why? Why the girls afraid to go out today? Why would our 2-year-old little sister be raped today? Why? What is the fault of those children? Why would those children have lived the world before they understand anything in the world? Why can't those kids see the face of the earth because of that sexual harassment of 50-year-old adult man? Why would our sister commit suicide while reading in class 6 or 7 today? Do they have no right to survive? Or our few minutes of brutal sexual pleasure is more important than their survival? Why do the young people today take rape as a hobby? And why do they get the courage to celebrate the 100th rape? Those of us who support rape should remember that when someone sexually abuses their own mother or sister, how do you feel? Now, if one wants to stay away from vulgar act, one shouldn't even go to vulgar act at the initial stage and look at one's private parts. Suppose you are the head of an office. There are 10 women working under you. Now, if someone asks you if you will rape, you must not say. But Shaitan can slowly take us to that stage if we are not careful. Now we'll have to look at those 10 people with equal eyes. It is your responsibility. But the more beautiful the devil and the 10, the more beautifully we can. Giving less work or more time to that girl means giving more time to the devil can gradually make things worse. After being encouraged to talk in solitude, the devil can lead us to the blanket in some point. The solution is to adhere the verse of the Al-Quran. Do not go to indecency. If we do not set foot in the devil's trap, it is in the first place, it may be easier for us to avoid vulgar act. In addition, to avoid vulgar act, vulgar movies that are not seen with the family, that are seen alone, should be avoided. The main point is that everything from which we feel sexual attraction should be avoided right now. Even we feel sexual attraction by a girl's voice, we must have to avoid it. If we feel sexual attraction when we look at a girl, we cannot look at her a second time. But we can start a new life free of vulgar act by repenting what we have done before. Now, if someone has the trouble complying with this, wants to make a vulgar movie or song lawful, and wants to deny Allah, then he can tell Allah that, Allah, I cannot obey the rules of your old times. Whatever my mind tells me to watch, I will watch. Who are you to ban here? If you have the power to stop me, then stop me. Now we hear a verse from Al-Quran. Before the day comes suddenly, respond to the call of your Lord. That coming of that day is inevitable, and no one has the strength to resist. Thank you. It is in the Holy